Hello guys, welcome back to this F1 Manager 24 career mode. We're working on this Alpine rebuild and we're almost at the summer break. Now for me personally, it's been a while since I've actually recorded one of these episodes because I've been busy working on this bad boy. As you can see on screen, I've got some images of the car and the livery we will be running for this episode. It is the Spa livery, accompanied with the driver suits, pit crew suits, and also both driver helmets. So that'll be really cool for this episode before we head into the summer break. The last episode was quite an interesting one. If you haven't seen that, I do recommend go checking that out. It was the Hungarian Grand Prix. As we jump back in, we've got a required response, and that is in fact a counter offer for Pierre Gasly. See if he accepts that. If he does, happy days. If he doesn't, then come on, Pierre. Our front wing has been manufactured, which is good, and we have got a few parts that have failed on our car. So let's make sure we upgrade these. So one thing we haven't actually done in a while is actually have a look at the standings. So as you can see, Ferrari are doing a really good job ahead of the field. And for the drivers, I did say earlier on that Charles could win the championship, and he actually might. He's got one more race win than Max Verstappen. He has got no sprint wins to his name, and he's got 2 less pole positions. However, it's going to be tight towards the end of it. Isaac Hadjar currently leading F2. And Dino Beganovic currently leading F3, which is why we have offered them contracts. If we look at this, let's make sure we pick the highest amount, because when it comes to it, we need to make sure we get as much money as possible. We've got the 10th fastest car around here, allegedly, so that's fun.
Halfway through the season, it's too early to call the championship. Can teams make good before the summer break, or will they be hoping for a reset?
So, a little bit of light rain on Saturday never hurt anybody, right? I think what I'm going to do for this, though, I do think I'm going to put Jack Doohan in the car just for FP1. It's been a while since we've done him, and I do think he does deserve it, to be fair. We have also put all of the parts in the car, which is what we want to do, and we're ready for practice. So let's send Esteban out, and there you go, the first look in-game of the full gear. It looks spicy. And I tell you what, it is a cool little livery package. Tomorrow, this will be uploaded onto Race Department, so you can download that. It'll also be available on my Patreon. Links will be in the description below, so you can use this for yourself. But it is really cool. Now, naturally, obviously, Jack Doohan doesn't have the helmet installed, so we'll see Pierre's helmet when we jump in. But it is really cool. Really happy with it. My first proper mod / package in-game, so yeah, it come together really well, so I was really happy with it overall, and it does look the part. A really cool little one-off livery for this episode just before we head into the summer break, so hopefully it might even be able to get us some points. You never know. Oh, Jack, you spicy son of a gun. I really hope at some point I will be able to get a perfect setup. Bang on, that would be really cool. It's been a very long time since I've done that. So just quickly, as we run through who we have in the session for the other cars, we've got Isaac Hadjar in the RB. We've got Ollie Goethe in the Red Bull, Jack Crawford in the Aston Martin, and Chloe Chambers also in the Haas. Naturally, we've got Jack Doohan also in the Alpine. So not as many as you have seen before. Surprisingly, no Pato Award again. He must be busy with IndyCar this weekend. Decent run up for Jack Doohan there, to be fair. He did a good job. Kept the car on the island, which is the main thing. So we have Pierre on track. We're going to be able to see his helmet very shortly. I'm hoping for Pierre, not necessarily in qualifying, but mostly in the race as well. I think he's definitely struggled in that regard, but hopefully Pierre can kind of get things together. We are obviously giving him, you know, the contract to kind of push him on a little bit and kind of lead the team. So we definitely are going to need him to improve slightly, let's say. Another thing to note, it's been a very quiet practice session. I wonder if they patched out how often things were happening in practice sessions, because there does definitely seems to be a massive downgrade in terms of how often things happen. Oh, it looks as if Pierre has got a terminal gearbox issue, which is not really what he needs.
VSC.
Yeah, his gearbox has died. That's a shame. Well then, that's not ideal, is it?
I can't believe it.
Whoops. Well then, game's the game really, isn't it? Oh man. Considering he missed FP1, it just had to happen to Pierre, didn't it? You know what, Pierre hasn't got many gearboxes left. His engine, I'm probably gonna have to swap this out. That 6% is dangerous. You could probably run that at a different point, but it's probably not worth running as it stands at the moment. It would be such a massive risk. A risk we can't really take around here, to be honest. Not when he missed FP1, missed a third of FP2. What's Logan done this time? You know what? That's actually a really harmless little incident, that, to be fair, from Logan.
Welcome to qualifying. Let's find out if all that practice will pay off for the drivers.
Qualifying at Spa is one of the most exciting sessions of the year, and the season's longest lap leaves little margin for error.
And you're right. Well, it's nearly time for qualifying.
Let's use the fresh engine for Esteban. Pierre's gearbox in the ERS situation isn't looking too hot, to be honest. It's not looking great. Let's see what we can do, shall we? Let's see what the boys can do. See if we can get them out in one run. 30.7 for Esteban, and Pierre does a 30.9. 0.2 down. That's not good at all. Maybe that extra 3% will make a real difference. Who knows? Be interested to see where everyone else comes across. 30.5 for Carlos. In the middle sector, what can Esteban do? 42.2. What can Pierre do? 42.6. Wow. So he's 0.4 down. That's not good. Albon's locked up. It's not ideal for him. 30.0. Pierre do. 0.6. Not good.
Reports of rain.
And it's now raining. So who's at the back of the queue? Again, in theory, there should be no way that they actually improve. We will probably send them out again just to be safe, just because we don't want to be screwed over like we did in Hungary, but not seeing any improvements at the moment. And the rain is also increasing, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue for us, to be honest. Logan Sargent's actually going to make it out of Q1. You know what? Fair play. Good effort. Need big laps from these boys getting both out. Into Q3. 32.8, 32.9. It's not awful. It's not horrific.
And how is the track?
Oh, they're going to go on slicks, aren't they? People are going to be on slicks. Maybe they're not. Oh, we might not improve. 44.5, 44.9. It's not awful. Sargent's currently up to P2. Oh my. Didn't see that coming at all. Ocon's going to go across the line. P2, Pierre, P4. Wow. That puts the cat amongst the pigeons, doesn't it? We're safely through into Q3. So this is a bit ambiguous. It kind of says it's neutral across all fronts. So what we might as well do, might as well just use up all of our tyres. There's no reason not to, right? In an ideal world, if it started hammering down now, that'd actually probably do us a massive favour. Such is our luck, sadly. As it stands, after how that's all shaken out, that's not awful, is it? It's currently changed to damp as well. Wow. Let's send them out now as well. See if the boys can improve. In theory, it shouldn't be possible, but anything is. We'll know if we can improve based on Leclerc's time through Sector 1. He hasn't improved. Wow. We haven't improved. Gasly hasn't improved. Nobody's improving. Wow. Improved in the last sector. Verstappen's found a little bit of time. Can we be dislodged by anyone? Verstappen goes on pole. Wow. So there is time to be found out there. P4, P5. That's our best qualifying of the season. And unfortunately, we're not going to be starting there. Fuming.
Well, it's a fantastic turnout, as it always is here in Belgium, as we prepare for 44 laps around Spa. Spa-Francorchamps is an F1 favourite, consisting of challenging corners, high speeds, and the chance for drivers to really prove themselves. The long lap has different downforce demands, with sectors 1 and 3 requiring pure speed, and sector 2 a twistier and more technical affair. Tension continues to build here as race day begins.
Only a 5-place grid penalty. Okay, that's not too bad. I thought it was going to be more than that. I thought it was going to be 10.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. If Pierre Gasly's feeling the pressure, he's certainly not showing it.
An encouraging grid position as they sit in P8. Lots to build on during the race if they manage it well.
Here we go. It's time to go racing.
I've got good hopes for this Grand Prix. I don't think this is really up there in our wheelhouse for best Grand Prix in terms of track, but we'll have to see how it goes. Hopefully we can get off to a good start. Esteban's got off to a good start. He's already jumped the Mercedes momentarily. Pierre seems to be okay. Let's jump on board with Esteban. It looks like he's going to have Russell as well. Oh, almost. Here comes one of the cars that is, well, it shouldn't be behind us realistically, but Pierre almost holds on. I reckon Pierre will probably drop back quite a bit, to be fair to him, which isn't a fault of his own. It's just we have got 2 McLarens directly behind us on softs, as well as other cars too. But let's see what we can do. If we can keep on the back of Russell with Ocon, the V-carbs are there for the taking as well. Battling with science. Battling with science quite a lot, to be fair. Oh, that's a move. That's a move. Well in, Esteban. Good lad. I don't think we're going to get DRS from that, though. I think Russell is. Yeah, he does, which is fair. Oh, my God, he's held it. What a guy. Oh, Ricardo's had an issue. Ricardo's dropped down. We absolutely take that.
Daniel Ricciardo.
What's happened? Oh, you can see the McLaren's on the back of Pierre as well.
Well, you can see the lockup.
Oh, that is a heavy lockup as well. So we're not actually in a bad spot off the race start, which is good. Trying to catch up to Hamilton and Tsunoda is going to be a bit of a tall order. Tsunoda is also on mediums, but that's fine. If we can try and keep up with these boys as best as possible, Piastri's definitely going to pass Pierre very shortly, which, you know what, it's fair. It's fine. Pierre, I think, is just outside of DRS, annoyingly. And I don't think we're going to get DRS off of the back of that McLaren. So we are probably going to drop down quite a lot with Pierre. Again, expected, but not ideal. Sainz goes through. Ricardo's also gone through. Oh, it's looking a bit rough. Perez is really struggling to get through the field here. Really struggling. Looks like Ocon's got a little bit of a run on the Ferrari. He's been held up by Russell. Surely he won't go around the outside through there. That would have been a ballsy move, and McLaren's going to take full advantage of that. You know what? Fair play. Definitely worth a punt from the McLaren, and especially Ocon. Gasly is now on the back of this, which is nice. So you've got a little bit of a train forming behind Russell here. This could get a bit fruity as things go on. That is one hell of a run. Oh my God, we're almost 4 wide. Can he get down the inside? Is he going to sneak it? Yes, he is. What an absolute guy. Oh my God, it's going 2 by 2. It's like Noah's Ark. This is carnage. We've actually broken a little bit away due to all of them fighting with Esteban. But this little fight here with the McLarens, Ferraris, and Mercedes, this is a little bit mental. This is. Look at the state of this. Oh, I was hoping he was kind of going to send it down the inside of Russell there to hold him up a little bit more. But oh my God, this is mental. Now, the question is, will Piastri have DRS? Does it look like he is? Oh, here they come. Here they come. Pierre, is he making a move on Ricciardo? What a guy. Right, Pierre, if you can get involved in this little melee, that would be pretty good. Sainz has managed to get through. However, he's fallen off massively. There's a 3-second gap. Now, Pierre, come on. The McLarens and the Ferraris are going to fly off and catch up to Esteban. So if we can get past Russell, that would be very handy for our race. We've got Ricciardo on our rear wing, though, and he's going to send it up our inside. Russell goes defensive. We hold it around the outside. We will have DRS, so that is good. But, oh my God, what a move from Pierre. Can he hold it? And the question is, will he have DRS? Speaking of DRS, Ocon's in DRS of Lewis. What's happened here? Pierre hasn't quite got past Russell yet. Piastri's now within our DRS of Ocon, just because we couldn't get past Lewis, which is a little bit annoying. But the tyres are looking good. That's the main thing. So if Pierre can cruise up to the back of him, that will be good. I think we might try and push on ERS just for a little bit, because I do want him back in DRS of Lewis, just to try and defend from Piastri as much as possible. Pierre's almost falling away from... The Mercedes are really good through their final sector, to be fair. It should be job done for both of them, to be fair. I expect them both to get through. There we go. Happy days. Pierre, exactly the same. Good lad. Good job from both boys. Very good job from both boys. Now, I'm not under any illusion. I don't expect us to be able to catch up to Tsunoda anytime soon. But the fact we're ahead of both Mercedes at the moment, on the tyres we are, happy days. Ocon's done well to get back up to P4. He's done a really good job. Pierre was a bit unlucky of having all of these guys behind him. Would have preferred it if we could have broken away a little bit. But Lewis does have DRS, so he's going to bring him back here, I'd imagine. Ocon defends, does what he can. He's still in contention. Does drop back ever so slightly. Let's see if we can keep on the back of Piastri. If we can get DRS off of Piastri this lap and not give it to Lewis, that is going to be ideal for us, really, which we have got. Beautiful. And I'm assuming Lewis doesn't. Oh, he's been pushed off as well. That's rude. Oh my God, they're side-by-side throw. He's lost out to Sainz as well. That's not ideal for Carlos. Hamilton's been pushed onto the grass second time this lap. So they've been shuffled down like quite a bit. Quite a bit indeed. Beautiful Deadpool helmet. So we're going to get DRS off of him. We go past the McLaren. Ooh, who had an issue? Russell ran wide. Wow. That gives Pierre a little bit of breathing room now, doesn't it? Ocon's doing a tremendous job. He really is. Absolute tremendous job. McLaren's just fallen away a little. Oh, one of them ended up in the grass then. Must have been Piastri. We are slowly closing the gap, I think, to Tsunoda. Little bit by little bit. Sainz will have DRS, presumably. So if we just stick on the back of him, up Eau Rouge and through Radion. No, we got DRS. That's huge for us. Down the inside, he's going to extend it. Can't make the move done. We are performing well here. I think our strategy is really good as well. So I think that will probably help us in the long run. We have dropped out of DRS off Sainz, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. Ricardo's had a torrid time ever since he dropped his lockup. He's just had an awful time. But I'd imagine here comes Lando Norris. No point fighting him. Oh, he's fought him. And he's actually kept the position. So that is a great job from Ocon. Peak Esteban Ocon. Almost peak Pierre Gasly. Not quite. Almost though. So it looks as if Sergio Perez will be the next man to actually pass us. Sainz has really looked after his tyres really well. So is Lando. I do imagine we are going to be passed soon by these boys. Can he make the move down the inside? Yes, he can. No, battling the McLarens on actual pace is so bizarre. It's not something, I think we're used to be honest, but I'm absolutely here for it. Sergio Perez might stick his nose up or inside here. Yeah, that's fine. Can't really complain. We're going to try and keep on the back up with him as much as possible. Maybe he can pull us up to Lewis Hamilton, hopefully. That would be the goal, I think, with that. And in the pits goes Perez, in fact. So that's interesting. Interesting to see that they have already jumped. Lando, will he get past Esteban here? He won't. Okay. Lando's really looking after his tyres. So's Lewis, to be fair. Piastri, less so. But this tells me that they're definitely they have to be splitting their strategies, I imagine. Lando can't find the move. He's going to try and force it, but I don't think that works. We take that. Esteban should get DRS, which he does. Can he make the move? He will sit in his wheel tracks. Pierre is closing up to the back of Lewis, though. Max has entered the pits. Might be worth deploying with Pierre. Oh, didn't like that. Piastri stuck his nose up or inside.
Just push on up.
Might bring both boys in this lap, to be fair. We'll trust the strategy. Ideally, we want to be ahead of both of them, to be fair. So that's actually going to work out quite well. Let's see what Esteban can do. Need 2 lovely, quick pit stops here, please, boys. Look at our crew. Look at them go. No. No, 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 no. Are you joking? That is an absolute disaster. What a disaster. All that hard work to get ahead of the McLaren. Gone. Unbelievable. Oh, Pierre got held as well. That's so annoying. That's so annoying. Yeah. So annoying. That's cost us so much time. Oh, that's going to be the difference between 4 or 5 positions come the end of the Grand Prix, isn't it? Unreal. I envision Lando is going to try to one-stop, same as Charles. Because if we manage to stay with Piastri, we would have probably dragged ourselves up to where Perez is now, potentially. Who's absolutely undercut us like no tomorrow. What tyres is Charles going on? Mediums. They'll be going to the end, I reckon. Tsunoda somehow is just chilling up in 5th, man. I don't understand how he's how he's flying up there, man. We was catching him at one stage, but yeah, that pit stop's really dislodged us a little bit, hasn't it? The McLarens definitely are a lot quicker than we are, so we can't actually fight them for position. So when Lando does go through, we're just going to have to make sure that we hold on to the back of Lando just to mitigate the gap as much as possible. Annoyingly, Pierre's actually fallen out massively away from Hamilton now. I'm not sure why that's happened, but it just seems to be a bit of a weird thing with Pierre. His overtaking doesn't seem to be as good as maybe it should be. Like, he's just not really concerned about fighting Lewis for position. Norris hasn't actually made any inroads really on Esteban. So I'm hoping when we do switch to the softs, that will probably help us out a little bit. Speaking of which, he's actually just passed Lewis. You know, normally drivers would take the overtake opportunity at the end of the DRS straight, nice and easy, but no, Pierre decides to go through one of the hardest corners to overtake on the circuit. Do you know what I mean? Each of their own, I suppose. Stroll's not really making much progress, to be honest. He is kind of just in and around it. That 12 points that the V-Carb's going to get is also going to be really damaging to the constructors. Tsunoda's just a bit broken, to be honest. It's a bit mental. Lewis is trying to break away from us, which I don't think we're going to allow. So let's close up to the back of him. Thank you very much. We don't want that to be happening, do we? He thought about it. It's kind of like a little bit of cat and mouse here with Hamilton, really. Simple move, down the inside. Good stuff. Pierre. So now things are going to get interesting with Lando now on the back of us. Again, we're going to have to make sure we stick with them as best as we can. We are losing out to Perez at this time. We're marginally at roughly about the same time as Tsunoda per lap. Magnussen's had a bit of an issue. He's had a bit of a spin. Let's have a little look at this back. I saw him drop down on the timing boards, but that's really silly. Really, really silly. But nonetheless, so let's keep an eye of this with... Go on, go down the inside. You won't. Oh, multiple cars of... Oh, I'm going to assume this is a Sargent. What's Sargent done then? Sargent and Hulkenberg. Oh, I'm so glad we're not flying back with them anymore. So glad. Would have been a nightmare if we were still doing that, do you know what I mean? So if we can block Lando here, that would be ideal, which we have, which is good. Just at least for one more lap. Pierre has cleared Hamilton, which is good. Russell is about 10 seconds back from Pierre, so we'll have about, say, a 12-second gap to climb when Pierre goes to softs. This is going to be a crazy move if he pulls it off. Oh, not quite. Little jink from Ocon was a bit naughty there. Okay, we're going to have to make sure you defend relatively well here, Esteban. He's doing well. The way he's driving, he's pretty much earning a contract for next season. I didn't plan on keeping him, but the way he's performing, I can't not, right? He's doing so well. Piastri and Sergio are in the pits. Oh, I thought he locked up then. Really thought he locked up. That's an audacious move. What a move. So what we have done is absolutely ruined Lando Norris's race. He's got to try and get to the end on these tyres. All the other lads don't have to conserve as much. So we've ruined Lando's race, which really has put Perez back in play. And all this time, Pierre's actually catching up as well. Lando must be getting so frustrated. Really frustrated. Okay, so this is the first time we haven't actually been able to hold on. Not ideal. I don't think we're going to be able to hold on either with Esteban. I think these guys are going to absolutely fly off now, even if we do push. Is it worth pitting him? I reckon it might be, you know. I reckon it might be worth pitting him. I think we're pretty much guaranteed points for Esteban, and I think 9th and 10th is... Oh, Bottas has crashed. Let's see what Valtteri's done here then. Oh, we're not going to see it, but I don't imagine that was a very soft impact, let's say. Trust our strategy. And got held a little bit there by the Sauber of Bottas. Hopefully this mistake isn't going... Hopefully there's going to be no mistakes from any of the boys ahead. It was actually Zhou that held us up. Oh no. Another slow pit stop again. What is going on with the boys, man? Oh man. It's both times it's been Ocon as well, which has really just hampered him. It's not going to cost us any positions, but for real, that's so annoying. All right, let's deploy with Esteban and see what we can get. I don't think we're going to be able to close up 18 odd seconds, but we might be able to do some damage. I guess all that's left to do is super skip in today's episode of Logan Sargent. So he's getting lapped. Oh, he could have gone into the back of the McLaren then. That probably would have been very much appreciated from Logan Bear. Oh, multiple cars have crashed on track. Still getting a bit spicy towards the end of the Grand Prix here. We've got Nico. What have he done? That's twice he's done that. Was that with the same Williams as before? Oh, Sargent's had an absolute disaster, bless him. He hasn't had a good time. And Sargent got the penalty. Okay, to be fair, I guess that does make sense. I'll be real.
Let's push. Yeah, let's push. Yeah.
So 3 laps to go. Tsunoda had pit, but it's not actually going to make a difference for us, I don't think. So what I might try is I might see if the boys can maybe set the fastest lap or at least come close. I don't reckon they will. We've got the fuel, we've got the gap, we've also got the tyres, so it might be worth doing it just to see what the boys can do. If we can, perfect. If we can't, it's not the end of the world. He went purple middle sector. Yeah, Pierre's miles off it, bless him. Good race from both of the boys, to be fair, especially from Pierre, considering he's not at 100% and how far down the grid he was. The Deadpool Wolverine livery does us a solid. We get a points finish with Esteban, and through the final quarter comes Pierre Gasly in P9 to solidify a double points finish. Happy days, can't complain. Decent result for the boys.
There was some masterful driving here from Esteban Ocon, and it's paid off.
It's safe to say they exceeded all expectations. A finish in the points, and my goodness, it is very well deserved.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team.
So Esteban did manage to get the fastest lap in the end, which was just by 0.03 of a second. The gap has increased to 29 points. I'm confident we'll probably get 7th in the constructors now, but at the same time, 2.5 for Pierre. This is a disaster, honestly. I don't think it would have made a difference, but it's not the point. Our new chassis complete. Well then, into the summer break we go. We've got 25 days, so hopefully we might be able to see something interesting. Till then, guys, if you enjoyed, please slap a like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.